What if the dream you keep ignoring is actually the dream that could change your life? What if the voice inside your heart is trying to tell you something? And what if the greatest treasure in your life is not money, but the person you become while searching for it? This is the story of a young shepherd named Santiago. He had sheep, he had freedom, he had the open road. But there was one thing he did not have. He did not know what his life was truly meant to be. Welcome to English Gateway. Today, we are going to explore one of the world's most inspiring stories, The Alchemist. As we follow Santiago's journey, you will learn simple English, useful vocabulary, powerful expressions, and important lessons about dreams, fear, courage, and life. So listen carefully, because sometimes the journey to find your dream is actually a journey to find yourself. Chapter 1. The shepherd who wanted to travel. Santiago was a young shepherd. He traveled from one place to another with his sheep. His life was simple. Every day he walked through fields, villages, and quiet roads. He slept under the sky. He watched the sunrise. He learned the habits of his sheep, and he enjoyed his freedom. Santiago was not rich, but he was happy. He had something many people did not have. He could choose his own road. He had once wanted to become a priest. His family expected him to follow that path. But Santiago wanted something different. He wanted to travel. He wanted to see the world. He wanted to meet different people. He wanted to discover places he had only read about. So he became a shepherd. His sheep became his companions, and the road became his home. But one night, something strange happened. Santiago had a dream. In the dream, a child took him to the Egyptian pyramids. The child told him that there was a treasure waiting for him there. Then Santiago woke up. At first, he thought it was only a strange dream, but the dream returned, and this time, he could not simply forget it. Vocabulary: shepherd, a person who takes care of sheep. Journey, traveling from one place to another. Treasure, something valuable that is hidden or protected. Dream, something you see in your sleep, but it can also mean a strong hope for your future. And this is where Santiago's real journey begins, because sometimes life gives us an idea and then waits to see what we will do with it. Chapter 2. The old king. Santiago meets an old man who seems to know much more about his dream than he should. The old man tells Santiago something powerful. He says that people often have dreams when they are young, but as they grow older, they become afraid. They begin to think about money. They think about family. They think about what other people will say. And slowly, they forget their dreams. Santiago listens carefully. The old man tells him about something called a personal legend. A personal legend is the dream or purpose that a person is meant to follow. It is the thing your heart truly wants. But following that dream is not easy. Why? Because the biggest enemy is often not failure. It is fear. Fear says, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose what I already have? What if the dream is impossible? Santiago has to make a decision. He can continue living the safe life he already knows, or he can follow the unknown road. And finally, he chooses the road. He sells his sheep. He leaves his familiar world, and he travels toward Africa. He does not know what will happen. He only knows one thing. He has to try. Chapter 3. Everything goes wrong. Santiago arrives in a new country. He cannot speak the local language well. He does not know the streets. He does not know whom he can trust. And then something terrible happens. He loses all his money. Suddenly, the dream seems impossible. Think about this moment. Yesterday, Santiago had a plan. Today, he has almost nothing. He could give up. He could say, I was foolish. I should have stayed with my sheep. I should never have followed this dream. And honestly, many people would do exactly that. When the first problem appears, they return to their old life. But Santiago does something different. He finds work. He begins working in a crystal shop. At first, the work is difficult, but Santiago is intelligent. He observes. He learns. He thinks of new ideas. Slowly, the shop becomes more successful. Santiago earns money, and he realizes something important. A difficult situation can become a lesson if you are willing to learn from it. Vocabulary: failure, when something does not succeed. Opportunity, a good chance to do something. Improve, to become better. Risk, the possibility that something bad may happen. Santiago could have seen his loss as the end. Instead, he sees it as a new beginning. Chapter 4. The Decision After. Working for a long time, Santiago has enough money to return home. He could buy new sheep. He could return to his old life. Everything would be familiar again. And that is the dangerous thing about comfort. Comfort feels safe, but sometimes safe is not the same as right. Santiago remembers his dream. He remembers the pyramids. He remembers the treasure, and he makes another difficult decision. He continues the journey. He joins a caravan crossing the desert. Now his world becomes completely different. There is sand everywhere. The days are hot. The nights are cold. The journey is dangerous. And Santiago meets many new people. One of them is an Englishman. The Englishman is searching for an alchemist. Santiago does not completely understand what an alchemist is, but he begins to learn. The Englishman has spent years studying books. He believes that there is a deeper knowledge hidden in the world. Santiago learns something important from him. There are many ways to learn. Some people learn from books, some learn from teachers, some learn from experience, and some learn simply by paying attention to life. Chapter 5. The Desert. The caravan moves deeper into the desert. The desert is enormous. There are no familiar streets, no comfortable houses, no easy roads, only sand, wind, silence, and endless sky. Santiago begins to understand the language of the desert, not a language made of words, a language made of signs. He learns to observe. He watches the animals. He watches the sky. He watches the people. He understands that the world is always communicating with us, but we are often too busy to listen, and then danger comes. The caravan must stop because of conflict in the desert. Santiago realizes that the journey is not only about finding treasure, it is about becoming stronger. Every challenge is changing him. Every difficult moment is teaching him something, and this is one of the deepest lessons of the story. You do not become strong by avoiding difficulties. You become strong by facing them. Chapter 6. Love in the Desert. During his journey, Santiago meets a young woman named Fatima. He falls in love. For the first time, he begins thinking, maybe I should stay here. Maybe this place can become his home. Maybe love is the treasure he was searching for. And this creates another difficult choice. Should he continue his journey? Or should he stay with the person he loves? This is where Santiago learns an important lesson about true love. True love does not always ask you to abandon your dreams. Real love should not make your world smaller. It should help you become the person you are capable of becoming. Santiago realizes that if his dream is truly important, he must continue. He must go forward. And if his love is real, he will not lose it simply because he follows his purpose. Chapter 7. The Alchemist. Finally, Santiago meets the mysterious alchemist. The alchemist is not simply a man who knows how to turn metal into gold. He is someone who understands the deeper language of life. He teaches Santiago about fear. He teaches him about listening. He teaches him about courage. And most importantly, he teaches him that knowledge without action is not enough. You can read hundreds of books. You can watch thousands of videos. You can listen to great teachers. But eventually, you must take the first step yourself. The alchemist tells Santiago that fear of failure can be more dangerous than failure itself, because failure teaches you. Fear only stops you. Think about that. How many dreams have people lost, not because they failed, but because they were too afraid to try? Chapter 8. The Final Test. Santiago finally reaches the pyramids. This is the place he saw in his dream. He looks at the enormous structures. For a moment, he feels that his journey is over. He has crossed countries. He has worked in a crystal shop. He has traveled through the desert. He has faced danger. He has fallen in love, and now the pyramids are in front of him. He begins searching for the treasure. But things do not happen the way he expects. He faces another terrible situation. He is attacked. He loses hope. And then something unexpected happens. His attackers laugh at his story. One of them tells Santiago about a dream he once had. He says that he once dreamed of treasure near an old church in Spain, but he was not foolish enough to travel there. And Santiago suddenly understands something. The place described by the man is the same place where Santiago had once slept with his sheep. The treasure was there all along, but Santiago had to travel across the world to understand it. And this is the beautiful mystery of the story. Sometimes you have to leave home to understand the value of home. Sometimes you have to travel far away to discover what was close to you. Chapter 9, The Real Treasure. Santiago returns. He goes back to the place where his journey began, and he finds the treasure. But now the treasure means more than gold, because Santiago is not the same young shepherd who left. He has changed. He has learned courage. He has learned patience. He has learned to listen. He has experienced loss. He has experienced love. He has faced fear. He has learned to trust himself. And that is the real treasure. The gold is valuable, but the person Santiago became during the journey is even more valuable. This is why the story is so powerful. The treasure was not only waiting at the end. The treasure was being created inside Santiago during the journey. What can we learn from Santiago? There are several powerful lessons. Lesson 1, do not ignore your dreams. Your dream may look impossible, but every great journey begins with one small decision. Lesson 2, fear is normal. Being afraid does not mean you are weak. Courage means moving forward even when you are afraid. Lesson 3, learn from every situation. Santiago learns from his sheep. He learns from the crystal merchant. He learns from the desert. He learns from the alchemist. Every person and every experience becomes his teacher. Lesson 4, do not confuse comfort with happiness. A comfortable life can be good, but if your heart is always asking you to grow, you should listen. Lesson 5, the journey changes you. Sometimes we think success means reaching a destination, but the journey itself may be the most important part. Because when you finally reach your goal, you are no longer the person who started. English learning section. Now let's learn some useful English from Santiago's story. Dream, a strong hope for the future. Example, I have a dream of becoming a successful writer. Journey, the process of traveling from one place to another. Life is a long journey. Courage, the ability to face fear. It takes courage to follow your dream. Opportunity, a chance to do something good. Every problem can become an opportunity. Purpose, the reason why something exists or why you do something. Everyone wants to find a purpose in life. Destiny, the idea that certain things are meant to happen. He believed that destiny had brought him there. And remember this beautiful expression, follow your heart. It means listen to what you truly want and believe is right. Final message. Santiago started his journey as a simple shepherd. He wanted to find treasure. But he discovered something much greater. He discovered himself. And maybe that is what life is really about. We spend so much time asking, what will I get? How much money will I make? When will I become successful? But perhaps we should sometimes ask another question. Who will I become while I am trying? Because the road may be difficult. You may lose money. You may lose opportunities. You may face rejection. You may become tired. You may even want to return to your old life. But remember Santiago. He continued, one step, then another, and eventually he discovered that the treasure he was searching for had been connected to his journey from the very beginning. So if you have a dream, do not kill it because you are afraid. If you have a goal, do not abandon it because the road is difficult. And if life takes you somewhere unexpected, pay attention. Maybe there is a lesson waiting for you there. Your journey may not look like the journey you imagined, but that does not mean you are lost. Sometimes, the road that looks wrong is the road that teaches you how to find the right one. If you enjoyed this story and learned something new today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to English Gateway. Here, we don't just learn English. We learn English through stories, ideas, emotions, and life lessons. Keep listening, keep learning, keep believing in yourself, and most importantly, never be afraid to follow your dream. See you in the next story. This is English Gateway. Keep learning, keep growing,